Kahunas saw that everyone was family, and that's called Ohana in the Hawaiian language. But they went even a little bit deeper, saying that all the animals are part of our family. The ocean is our family. The rocks, they even see the rocks as part of their family. And there's different perspectives on that. But it's really fascinating. All these elements, the wind is their ohane, the family. The sun and the stars is their family. So when you start connecting to that, there's like this field of like, opening to this huge field of deep connection and this universal love, which is that aloha spirit.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Keone. How are you, Keone?
I'm doing great, enjoying this beautiful rainy morning.
Very nice indeed. So today we're going to talk about Lomi Lomi massage, and massage is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'd like to ask you, can you tell us a little bit more about your journey in life?
Well, I think with massage, it was back in the 90s. I was in a hot tub and I was with a friend and his foot was in the way and I was kind of moving and I started just doing a gentle massage on his foot. And right away I saw his whole body just instantly relax within just a few minutes. And I thought there's something really powerful about human touch massage. And that opened up a whole journey of working for a chiropractor in Manhattan, Kansas, when I was going to school at Kansas State University. And so I worked doing massages with the chiropractor. He would do adjustment, then I'd do a massage and do some heat therapy and things like that. And then in 2010, after doing quite a few massages in the Swedish style, I was introduced to Lomi Lomi and got trained and certified into the Lomi Lomi style. And it was a whole different world because it's used the palms and the forearm here, the soft tissue here, and you create this flowing movement from the ankle, sliding down the leg, over the hip, up into the neck, and then back. And there's breathing, it's like a meditation, and it originated from the hula dancing. And a blend of the masculine energy with the lua is the martial arts in Hawaii. So you bring in a strong energy into the tight muscles and then move it out, flow out.
So nice.
Yeah.
The strength and the softness are mixed together.
Yeah, it's a good balance of the yin and yang.
And as a growing up younger person, were you always thinking of becoming a massage therapist, or?
No, it wasn't until that moment.
Yeah.
It was probably in my early 20s when that first happened.
Okay. And so you've been a massage therapist for a very long time.
Yeah, I've been doing massages quite a long time. I think I've given over 4,000 massages.
That's fantastic. And tell me about Hawaii. I mean, it's I've never been myself. I've only been to New York City in the US. But
yeah, Hawaii is very unique. I think there's like this core foundation of the Hawaiian people that used to be and lived sustainably on the land before capitalism moved in and Captain Cook came in 1878 and brought with him that European flavor and culture, and it started changing that Hawaiian culture of being close to nature and maybe listening to nature more. And that's part of the Hawaiian massage that I teach, is going deeper into this like a shamanic practice, which the Kahunas were the masters of more of that energy of healing using the breath, meditation, Reiki type of energy, but connecting to all the elements. And one of the unique things with some of the Kahunas that I've studied with and talked to and done some research with is they see the world in a whole different perspective than we do. It's like they have different eyes because first of all, they see like you and me as brothers. Then they see elders as elders of the whole community, not just the community of Hawaii, but the whole world. they're elders for everyone, or they're auntie and uncle, or they call them cuz. Like sometimes they'll come up and say, "How you doing, cuz?" So everyone's part of the family in the true Hawaiian sense. But you know, because of capitalism and money, it's created a distortion and all these other challenges that kind of distort that pure essence of who we are as a kind of a spirit family.
It's very interesting because you're talking about a part of the world which is, different from Asia in some ways, or there might be some influences because, again, you're talking about energy work, breath work. These are things that we find in the Hindu tradition, in Buddhist tradition, and then can be found also there. Fascinates me sometimes, you know.
Well, during the 1800s, there was quite a influx of the immigrants coming from China and Japan and other places to bring that culture and influence. So I think there's probably a blend of that, plus the Maoris from New Zealand.
Okay.
So there's a blend of that Polynesian energy with the Lomi Lomi massage.
Okay. And yourself, of course, you're a world traveler or world citizen, but where did you spend most of your life?
Well, I grew up in Kansas, and then I call it Middle Earth, and then started traveling from there. And in the early 2000s, I went to Hawaii, and I really just took a backpack and I wanted to explore and go hiking. I didn't think I was going to stay, that I was going to return, but I just fell in love with the island life and connecting to nature and actually the full moon, which we just went through a full moon. I was really enjoying studying the full moon and being like meditating and just watching the phases, and there's such a power in connecting to the stars and nature, and that's one of the key elements in this Kahuna pathway and the sacred pathway of Lomi Lomi is connected to the elements.
So you say you spent quite a bit of time in Hawaii, and how did you end up in Copenhagen?
Well, my partner and I, we were wanting to travel, and she was going to come and do a volunteer with the elephants up in Chiang Mai area, and they're really conscious about caring for the elephants and letting them be as free as they can be. And so I was like, well, I'd love to come to Thailand. So I came along with her, and another friend of hers met up. And then we went to Pai, Myanmar, and then COVID started happening. We thought, let's get to Copenhagen.
Very good.
This is the place to be during the lockdown.
Very good. So let's delve a little bit more into the Lomi Lomi technique, because indeed, you know, I receive massage in Thailand twice a week, every week. I'm almost addicted to it, and I just love it, yeah. And I receive sometimes strong Thai style massage, and sometimes oil massage.
Right.
So is Lomi Lomi an oil-based massage?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What kind of oil do you use?
Well, originally it was nut-based oils, and they use like kukui nut is a special nut that grows in the islands, but it has a thicker viscosity. It's a thicker oil. So I prefer coconut oil because it's got a nice flow, and I can get that rhythm and flow with it. And like I said, so it's this blend of the yin energy, so going gentle, maybe working with the emotional field or the mental field and helping to move some of that. And then on the tight muscles, you come in strong with the forearm and come in and hold, move, wiggle, shake, and then slide off. Okay. So that's the kind of the basic concept of it. But there's a deeper spiritual side to it, which I was starting to talk about, that the Kahunas saw that everyone was family, and that's called Ohana in the Hawaiian language. But they went even a little bit deeper, saying that all the animals are part of our family. The ocean is our family. The rocks, they even see the rocks as part of their family. And there's different perspectives on that. But it's really fascinating. All these elements, the wind is their ohane, the family. The sun and the stars is their family. So when you start connecting to that, there's like this field of like, you know, opening to this huge field of deep connection and this universal love, which is that aloha spirit.
That's really lovely, yes. And so how would you describe the difference between a a oil massage in Thailand? Because with oil massage, of course, they use their fingers, hands. Sometimes they use their elbows, and sometimes they walk on you at the same time, right? So they have different ways of doing it, and also depending on the practitioner, because oil massage I think is more open source in Thailand. It's not as strict as Thai massage. So some people focus more on a certain aspect of the body, or they go more in detail where they feel there is tension or they need to open up the fascia, etc. I mean, depending on the practitioner, I get different kind of oil massages. Is there any major difference from between the two, Lomi Lomi and Thai oil massage?
Yeah, I would say that the oil is, the Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage is more like an oil massage in the Thai style. Now with Thai, you're doing a lot more manipulation and movement. There is some of that, but not as much as with the Thai style of massage.
So it's gentler, is that right?
Yeah, I find there's so many different styles. There's actually two major styles, the temple style, and then there's the Big Island style, Lomi Lomi temple style, and that is what I studied under, is the Lomi Lomi temple style, and so it has its own flair to it, and it was by Abraham Kavi'i is the teacher. He was actually a kahuna, and a kahuna is like a shaman that's able to go into those realms of the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. So I think with what I've noticed with getting Thai and oil massages here in Thailand, the Hawaiian massage is a much more holistic approach, and that's what makes it special. But the technique maybe is much more flowing, so it can be very relaxing because you're using the forearms and it's almost like a wave. So you can go into one spot and make a wave like that, and then slide and slide, and come back into that little area. And you can use fingers and palms. So there's a lot of similarities to regular oil massage.
I really like, when you say that there's a flow that goes with the massage, because when I think of Hawaii, I also think of surfing, for instance. And another thing that pops up in my mind is the Ho'oponopono mantra. That's very lovely too. And this concept that we are all connected with other people around us as well as nature. That's really wonderful, isn't it? And it's,
so it creates kind of a deep respect for those that really practice that. So there's almost like an elite group that's really in that field of being that aloha spirit. And
it's lovely. So there's lots of culture and tradition around the people of Hawaii, and that again, in the Western world, we like to take some aspects of it and just use it for ourselves. So the Ho'oponopono, I worked a little bit with it in the past. It's a lovely mantra indeed, to reinforce forgiveness and self-love and love for everybody, and it's very, very nice.
Yeah, we practice that in the class.
Ah, very good. So, indeed, tell me a little bit more about what you're doing on the island now, because I know that you recently taught a course in Lomi Lomi massage, is that right?
Just yesterday.
And also you're teaching a Qigong, that's separate, I suppose?
Yeah, that's separate, but similar.
Okay, so you're finding your flow on the island teaching it. Do you enjoy that? And what is your plan?
I'm enjoying that a lot. So, I've been doing the Lomi Lomi massages for, I don't know, it's been around a year and a half to 2 years, basically during the whole COVID. During, the lockdowns I wasn't, but then there'd be openings. So, I was just really enjoying doing that, and also teaching the Qigong, which is very similar with the energy that I'm teaching in the class, to cultivate that connection to the elements, and finding what each student, which element they feel already a strong connection to. So like maybe you may feel a strong connection to the earth or the water you were talking about. So some people, like for me, I wasn't so aware of the air. And what I noticed when I started studying that and practicing it, there's so much going on with our breath, but also when the wind blows, being present to that. And it's a really nice tool to be present instead of in the mind or in the emotions.
Okay. So courses, of course, to become a qualified practitioner of Lomi Lomi. You're teaching Qigong, just dropping classes. Yeah, people can come and just join your class.
Every Monday, I'm going to be doing that after the interview today.
That's lovely, yeah. And I don't know if you might be traveling a little bit over the summer and maybe coming back later, or what's your plan?
Yeah, well, the plan hasn't fully formed. It's in the ethers right now, coming together. My niece is getting married, so I'm going to go back to Dallas, Texas, and be at the wedding there. And I'm a little hesitant leaving this little nest. You know, it's so comfortable, and also the nature here. You know, the island is 80% all natural. So there's this like, okay, start going, but oh, it's so comfortable here. You know, traveling is a whole different world, and you know, the uncertainty of it. So I'm feeling a little hesitant about it, but I think once it all is all lined up, it'll flow.
For sure. And do you see yourself like being part of the community in the future as well, coming back and living for some part of the year at least? Or?
Yeah, I really like this community. It's very creative, it's unique, it's extremely diversified. There's so many things that are offered. It does seem like there's kind of an extreme energy here, you know, around sexuality or exploration into that. I mean that's kind of fascinating too. You know, since I have a partnership, I'm more focused on the partner instead of that kind of fun exploration. But I really enjoy the sound healing. There's music, time at the beach. There's also the island's so big, you can have some quiet time if you need that. So there's so much that's offered here on the island. So I would like to make this a home.
That is lovely indeed. That's what I did for myself. So, Keone, thank you very much for this little chat about Lomi Lomi, you know, and yes, wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
I see you around.
Yeah, appreciate this a lot. Namaste.